Hey there, MoneyMatrix listeners. This is Alan Hastings. I'm coming at you with some MoneyMatrix flash news. Today, I'm going to be breaking down a few new headlines for you going into the 2026 year. There's a new U.S. housing market forecast. Here's what you need to know right now so that you can be positioned for it before the market shifts again. So a new report has come out from HousingWire. Basically, they're saying that the housing market is not going to explode in 2026. We're going to instead see a normalization. So what that means is slow and steady progress, not the big boom that everybody forecasted. Here's why. It's because affordability is expected to improve for houses, but it's not going to be because mortgage rates plunge. Instead, home price growth is cooling. The value of the homes is not going to accelerate at the same pace. So even though your mortgages are not getting much cheaper, you're going to be able to afford a house that was going to be previously out of reach. Demand remains solid for housing. Demographics are still pulling. Tens of millions of Americans are entering the 30-year age bracket, which means they're getting into that first-year homeowner age. We talked a lot on the podcast about how your average first-time home buyer in the United States is in their 30s now. So this is going to be when a lot of people are entering that homeownership milestone period. It's going to be uneven, regionally split. The Northeast and the Midwest remain tight, but South and the West are softer. You're going to see a lot more movement in the South. Obviously, Florida is a big zone, but you're going to see Texas, you're going to see West, Arizona, Nevada, places like that. Expansion will happen this year. Inventory slowly building, new home constructions at a steady, slow pace, but we should see that slightly pick up. Now, what does this mean for you? It's not a boom. It's not a crash. It's a shift. You're going to be seeing feverish activity, all that hype and energy that we thought was going into this new year die down, and you're going to see the more smart and slow-paced investors pick up. We're not going to be waiting for a fire sale market. We're watching a market reset, and you guys just have to get in and be the next wave of winners rather than waiting for something that's not going to happen. Now, the report from HousingWire also identifies a few forces that you have to know about. Quickly just running through the list, that's just going to be affordability, demographic demand, going to be regional splits, localized stress, rising inventory, and new home advantages. And what that means is with the affordability changes where housing is not going to be costing as much as before, mortgage rates aren't super plummeting, but because houses are not getting more expensive, buyers are going to jump into the market. You're going to see that affordability change make it so that more buyers are entering the playing field. You should try to get ahead of that. The demographic demand that I spoke about with the buyer's age being met, you're going to see more first-time home buyers as well. That can give you an edge if you're a savvy investor. If you're a alt doc or a non-QM client, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to be competing with these people with no credit history who are going to be coming in with FHA loans. You're just going to be prime position if you're making cash offers. If you're making offers with a lot more down payment, you're going to have more experience in the deal, negotiating tactics. You're at an advantage against those first-time home buyers, sorry to say. Now, the regional splits, as long as you're poising to take advantage of those regions that we talked about, the South and the West are going to be your main bases of action. The real reason that the North and the East are kind of firming up is because those are places where property values are not going to slow down as seriously. The East Coast has seen a surge in the last few years that it's likely going to continue. You're going to see the housing costs cool down across the country, but not in the specific regions, right? So you're going to either take advantage of those locations for their long-term benefits, or if you're looking to make these gains in purchases in the short term, purchase in the South or in the West. The rising inventory, you're going to note that housing is slowed down, that we are not seeing new constructions at the same rate that we did for the last several years. But the benefit of that is your relationships with builders are going to be more important than ever. If you can find these deals before anyone else is able to access them, builders are king right now. We talked a lot about the edge that builders have as well in the financing game, but primarily get to know the builders in the areas that you're looking at because you could potentially get a huge leg up on any other investors. And then definitely know about new home advantages. We all know how builders are taking advantage of people by offering crazy rates for a few years, inflating home costs by keeping prices high so that they can offer these lower rates and try to incentivize uninformed people. And you're going to want to get ahead of that. You're going to want to make sure that you know the advantages of the area that you're in. And if you're savvy about it, you can make sure that those buyers are you're not going to be taken advantage of by a builder. And finally, what does this mean for you? As an investor who's watching content like this, you want to be informed. You're usually self-employed. You're usually either commission-based or asset-rich. You have irregular income, things that are just not standard. And most standard lenders aren't going to be able to keep up with the following year. Those FHA buyers are going to be the massive target market for those lenders. They're not going to be catering to the likes of our client base, of our audience. So this opportunity, this market, you're in the prime position to take advantage of it. Investors are here right now in the best position they've been in years. The only problem is they're not going to be serviced by the larger banks, by the big box guys. So if you're looking to acquire property this year, think about your non-QM options. Really learn about DSCR loans, especially if you're a foreign national. This is a great time to invest. This is the exact moment that you're looking for, where house prices are not going to be, you can take advantage of that flat line. And if you already own a home and you're thinking of trading up, just be mindful of your current rate and equity, because affordability is coming in the form of housing costs and in the form of the value of the home and not mortgage rates. This wouldn't exactly be the best time to refinance because you're stagnating in your home value and you're not getting a huge benefit in the rate. So if you're thinking about trading up, maybe hold off on it, or at least use your assets in a way that doesn't remove your current equity, right? If you have to take a HELOC or a second loan, that might even be better in the long run than cashing out and removing your first time lien. So that's all I've really got for you today. I hope you can take advantage of that. I hope this information is useful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, reach out to us. Money Matrix Podcast everywhere, and ATCO MBank.